Hey kids, it's Arp. This is the ArpCast, somewhat live from the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains in eastern Tennessee. Today we talk about different things, weird people, and maybe unicorns and rainbows. We read poetry and short stories too. Most of all, we keep it real. This is the ArpCast, starting now.
It's ArpCast number 88, Friday, September 21, 2018. This is the last day of last day of summer. Wrap that up. Last day of summer. Tomorrow, 9:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Is that right? Yes, Eastern Daylight Time will be the arrival of autumn. The autumnal equinox will be there. That's right. It's equal day, equal night. And the days start getting shorter, darker, grimmer, colder. It's going to set in, people. It's coming. It's coming. I have no idea. You know, the Farmer's Almanac and all that. It's crazy stuff. I don't know where they... I don't know, just the weather is the weather. You know, if you look outside and it looks like it's going to be... whatever it's going to be, that's how you go about your day. I mean, there's planning involved and stuff, but we all know it's a facade. It's a charade. Those weathermen, I don't know, and women, they're getting paid ungodly sums of money for being right. Maybe half the time. So also today, September 21, my uncle's 70th birthday. So Wednesday was my grandmother's 90th. They're 20 years apart. 90th birthday. Today's his 70th. So happy birthday, Omnish Mama. Wonderful man. Probably my first father figure when I was in India before I came over to the United States. My dad was already over here. Mom and I followed him. Have been close ever since. So it's the Friday program. You know what that means? It's just 2 more days until Monday. Right, and I know you're bristling. I know you want to slap me. It's one of those, you know, those slaps that you see in the movies. But it's just funny to me, you know. It's just, and I look forward to it. I do, and I was looking forward to this weekend. I've got some reading to do and some paperwork and stuff, and try to catch a nap. But it is just 2 days till Monday. Let me say that again. It's 2 days until Monday. I love doing that. So I wrote down some words leading up to tonight's theme, title, purpose, accomplishment, diligence, humility, and indeed the word purpose. So that brought to mind the question, what's your manifesto? What the hell's a manifesto, Arp? I don't know what it is. Well, you know, I'm good with giving things context most of the time. Sometimes I get words all wrong. It's left over from a childhood trauma incident. But here's the definition I found. I think this is Wikipedia. A published verbal declaration of the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. So let's imagine for a moment you're the issuer. You're going to publish something. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to like put it out on the web or you're going to do a book or it's not the Communist Manifesto or nothing like that. You're just going to write it down and you're going to display it somewhere that you can see it. It's a one-man author, one-woman audience. You get it? So it's just you and you, I and I, going at it. All right, your manifesto. No politics. All right, we're not talking about, again, no communism, capitalism, Marxism, none of that stuff. Crazy stuff. No falsehoods. Got to be purposeful and honest. These are my intentions. This is what I want to accomplish. This is how I'm going to go about it. No rhetoric. Right? We're just not making stuff up and being, just billowy and unnecessarily bold and dramatic and none of that stuff. That's not what we're talking. This is your manifesto. You're going to take some time, and it could be a page, could be 10 pages, could be 100 pages. There's no limit. No limit. Just an exercise. A published verbal declaration of the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. Have you ever done this? You know, I've been through different trainings and we've done things like this. But the ARP Trivedi Manifesto doesn't exist. So what happens? Because I don't have that guidepost, sometimes I have a tendency to recreate and remanufacture, and I wish I could be doing this and I could be doing that, and so forth and so on. I mean, I think most of us have kind of a core, right? This is who we believe we are. This is who we're, or what we're intended to accomplish here and do. But to write it down is an entirely different exercise. And I know it's scary. It's bold, right? It comes in. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Right? What would you do? You'd write your manifesto. Well, that's what you do. And you talk about it on a Friday night. That's the crazy part. That's the nutso part. But I'm doing that for you. I've taken that burden on myself. I'm doing the podcast. So it's an art form, right? So what is this thing that, you know, we talked about philosophy and strategy in a recent blog post on Medium. You can find it. Strategy follows philosophy, right? Strategy follows. You got to get your philosophy first. Got to get your philosophy first, and then you talk about strategy, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, that sort of thing. First two, then what? Jim Collins, Good to Great. Read it. I'm reading it right now. Phenomenal book. I'd forgotten how phenomenal it was. It's an art form, though. Coming up with this, writing it down, thinking through it. Introspective. It's not about out there. It's not about what they're doing. It's not about blaming them. It's not about blaming yourself. But it's going deep inside to come up with your manifesto, which is a published verbal declaration of the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. You are the issuer. SMART, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. What's the difference between attainable and realistic? It is attainable to get to Everest, to the zenith. It's not very realistic for ARP to do that. It's just not there. Just going to lift my glasses a little bit right there. It's not realistic. Not going to happen. Don't breathe well. I'm fat. So, not going to happen. We talked about philosophy as preamble. And this is really true. You got to go get that piece figured out first. What's your philosophy towards life? Get all the little pieces that you can in their place. And then we're going to write the manifesto. We're going to start on that strategy piece, right? How are we going to get there? How are we going to get and fulfill our intended purpose? And then here's the big thing. Is it challenging? Is it a stretch? Is it something that you're moving forward to and moving away from, right? And so that's key. It doesn't have to be that way. You could have a very simple yet purposeful life. Nothing wrong with that at all. Manifesto, a published verbal declaration of the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. Take the weekend off. You've got 2 days. Think about it. Mull it over. Spin it around. Maybe have an adult beverage or not. If you're a kid, have a glass of milk. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Well, kids, you know who this is. It's ARP, damn it. You have been listening to the ArpCast, a sensational, fact-filled experience meant to change the world. I'm happy you stopped by. Our sponsors, those greedy, wily bastards, thank you too. Make sure to write. This has been the ArpCast. I'm out.